Hello, everyone. My name is Dave Gutierrez. I am the author of the book, Patriots from the Barrio. It's the true story of the only all-Mexican-American U.S. Army unit in World War II. I originally set out to write my primo's story, Ramon Gutierrez, and just to tell his story. I had heard his story growing up, even as a child, how he served in the United States Army during World War II, highly decorated soldier. As a matter of fact, one of the highest decorated soldiers to come out of Valverde County in Del Rio, Texas. And I have with me today as my guest, Ramon's daughter, my cousin Ramon, who served in Company E. And she'll be joining us today. And we're going to just discuss Ramon so that you can get an idea of a different side of Ramon. A lot of you know, who have read the book, know a little bit about Ramon's military story. And I wanted Roberta to come on and talk about her dad, Ramon. So with that, I want to introduce everyone to Roberta Gutierrez, the daughter of Company E veteran Ramon Gutierrez.
Hi.
Hi, Roberta. Thank you again for joining us. And for those of you who have read the book, you all understand that there's no way I would have been able to write this book without Roberta's help. Now, I was able to find all Ramon's military records, but really Roberta and her children gave me an insight into Ramon's personal life, especially after the war. So again, thank you, Roberta, for joining us. And hopefully I have this set up and we can talk a little bit about your daddy. But first of all, Roberta, how was it growing up knowing that your dad was this World War II hero?
Well, I didn't know that he was a war hero, but he was my hero. Oh, my daddy was the best. I'm sorry, Dave.
That's okay.
Every time I think of him, he was the best. I was totally blessed to have him for my father.
Absolutely.
He was so happy all the time, and he played with us. He would wrestle with us. And later when we grew up and, we moved away, he was always reaching out to me. When they moved back to Texas, they reached out to me. Even though all my brothers and sisters were in California with him, he reached out to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I went over there and I drove them back, and they stayed with me for 2-3 months. And then I helped my mom find a house. And then I helped him move. And then I used to love visiting him because he was so funny. He was just so funny. He always made us laugh and being silly. And he was just, I was totally blessed.
Again, thank you. Thank you for sharing your insight with Ramon. Now you've been recently sharing quite a few photos on Facebook that some of the photos I had never even seen. And I'm going to go ahead and we can go ahead and discuss those in a little bit here. Now, for those of you who are wondering how Roberta and I are related, the gentleman that you see there on the left is Ramon's father. So that's Roberta's grandfather, and that's Santana Gutierrez. And the one on the right is his brother, and that is my great-grandfather, Leonardo Gutierrez. Both of them arrived in Del Rio, Texas in 1901 from Allende, Coahuila, Mexico. So that's how Roberta and I are related, and how I'm related to Ramon. And here's a photo that you recently shared of Ramon, and he's stunningly handsome in his army uniform here, and love the cap that he's wearing. He's actually got the emblem of the 141st Infantry.
Yeah, I don't know, but about little details like that. You know about all the little patches, whatever. I just like him. I just like the picture. And this one, I guess he first joined.
Look how tall he is. He was very tall.
You were about 6'2".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's another photo you recently shared, and we really wish we knew who that guy was that is with him. Ramon is the one on the left, and again, they're wearing their army uniforms, and he's got the 141st emblem on the cap. But there was nothing written on the back of this photo, Roberta?
No.
Okay. And from the photo, I see the tents in the back, and that tells me that this is probably Camp Bowie in Brownwood, Texas. And I was talking to you earlier about this photo, that the gentleman that's sitting there in the background in a white T-shirt, to me, that looks a lot like Manuel Rivera, who served in the weapons platoon of Company E. And I could be wrong, it could be someone else, but that it strikingly resembles Manuel Rivera. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this photo and show it to Manuel's daughter, who lives in Rhode Island. And hopefully she'll recognize if that's her dad or not.
Well, my dad's cap looks like the same one that is in the last photo.
I'm sorry, say it again?
The cap, my daddy's cap looks like the same one he was wearing on the other photo.
Yeah. And here's a photo of him. Again, he looks strikingly tall in these photos. Real thin and tall. And it looks like they were in mess duty this week during their training days. And can you talk a little bit about this photo, Roberta?
I think this is one of my favorites. I think this is when he first got out of the military, because he's in a wheelchair. He looks like he's with a nurse, so he's in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And he's showing that his medal he got from Russia.
Correct. So in his hand, he's holding the Order of Patriotic War Second Degree, the medal he received from the Soviet Union, and he's showing it to the nurse there.
Yeah. I like this picture.
And tell me a little bit.
I have this picture in my front room. He's so handsome.
So do you know about what time this photo was taken?
Well, my mom said it was right around when they got married. And he was 21, probably right after he got out of the service.
Okay, so this is a good photo of him when he came out. So this is probably 1944, 1945.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this photo?
This is my mother, Consuelo Sanchez.
So this is Ramon's wife.
Yeah, her graduation picture from Sonora.
Okay.
Texas. I forget the school, Eliot. I don't remember the name of the school.
And this was in Sonora.
Sonora, Texas, Yeah, in the 40s, I guess.
Okay.
When she graduated in the early 40s. Because she also joined the Navy.
Right. She was also a veteran of World War II and had served as a Navy wave.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And this photo?
This was in our yard on Lee Street. We lived there for several years. The little grocery store across the street, little handy store. Yeah, my mom was always taking pictures of my dad.
So after the war, Ramon and his family moved to Wichita Falls, Texas. And this is a photo on Lee Street, correct?
Mm-hmm.
In Wichita Falls, Texas.
Yes, we lived there from around 1954 to 1961.
Okay.
It was the first street next to the railroad tracks.
Hmm.
Paved street too. It was the only paved street in the Barrio besides Flood Street.
Wow.
But and all the guys used to cruise down our street.
Because it was paved.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of girls that lived down our street, and they
Okay.
didn't honk the horns; they popped their mufflers. So, you remember that back then?
Yes.
And this was in 1958 on our way to San Jose.
1958.
This was in front of by the Painted Desert.
Ah.
And if it would have been in color, you'd see all the different color mountains in the background.
Oh, wow.
And my mom took a picture. And I was only like 12, almost 13, because it was in the summer of 58. And I helped my daddy drive.
So this is you and all the siblings, right?
My brother, me, myself, my brother Raymond, and my daddy, my sister, little sister Loretta. She came down with the measles, or I think she came down with the measles or chicken pox, one or the other. She had a lot of it.
During this trip?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then my sister Santana, and then my brother David.
I see. And that's you on the left?
Yes. Yes. I was only 12. My daddy trusted me to help him drive. I was tired. And this was when we lived on Lee Street. Myself and my sister Santana on the right, and my little sister Loretta.
Okay. Now, many who have read the book understand that Ramon, when he came back from World War II and was in Wichita Falls, he became a real big community leader and was involved in many organizations, including the American GI Forum, the Pan American Boxing. He coached Little League Baseball, and here's one of the photos. And if you can talk a little bit about this one.
Yeah, they all boxed with my dad, and I remember they used to come wait for my dad after his nap. My dad would come home from work and take a nap, and they'd be all waiting for my daddy on the porch, waiting to go, do their boxing every day. And my daddy loved it. And they all liked my daddy too. But yeah, I know most of these guys.
Yeah, interesting. And this photo?
With my brother David on the left, my brother Raymond on the right. And they had won trophies, I guess, boxing. For the
right.
What is it, Jeff one?
Here's actually a newspaper clipping that you posted also of him as part of the Pan American.
Yeah. This is the trophy winners. The one on the left is Joel Verondo, my daddy, and then Jay Lavender, and then Danny Garcia.
Okay.
And they also received trophies. And these were all the guys that played ball with my dad.
And that's Ramon in the center, in the back, with his Little League Baseball team, the Pan American.
Mm-hmm. For the guys in the back, on the left is Johnny Osuna. That's my kid's uncle.
Okay.
And I think it's Celso Lopez. And then the next guy is Ramon Diaz. We call him Mone. And then the next one is Carlos Segura, and he just passed away about a couple of years ago, maybe. And then the next one is Gilbert Garcia, but we call him Chule. And then the next one is Danny Chavez, and then Renato Anandares, and he passed away also. And then the guy kneeling down in front of him, se llama Ramiro Alanis, and he was killed in Vietnam.
He was killed in action in Vietnam.
Right before. In fact, me and my husband had been with his parents the night before, and they had planned all kinds of, they were going to do this and that and all. And then the very next day, they called him and told him he was killed.
Oh, wow.
That
Wow.
was so sad.
And that's the kid that's on the
Kneeling
front,
on the right.
the
All
front
right.
right. Okay.
We
And
call him
what was his name again?
Ramiro Alanis, but we called him Miro.
I see.
And he was an only child then. Well, then, no, I think they had a little baby brother.
Oh, okay.
You know, then, but yeah, he was a only child for the longest time. But he was just a nice kid, just a nice kid. And there were cousins. There were cousins to the guys in the back, Carlos and Gilbert. They were cousins. And then the next guy is Richard Garcia. He's brother to Danny Garcia, the boxer.
Oh, okay.
Showed you before. And then this guy right here, Johnny Torres. He's my little handyman now. I like him.
Amazing that you know all these kids. Well,
Yeah.
you grew up with them, right?
Yeah, I went to school with Mona and Carlos and
Yeah.
who else? Well, some of these kids went to Catholic school too. And then this one next to him is Frank Vale.
Okay.
And then this bad boy, Tony Chavez. No, Pete Chavez.
Okay.
How could I forget Pete Chavez? He was my brother's best friend, Damon. They grew up real close.
Okay.
Then this one over here, I think that's Jesse Torres, that's Johnny's brother.
Oh, wow. So, wow, yeah, just all from the barrio right there, right?
All of them, yeah. And this one, my beloved uncle.
So this is a photo of Ramon and his brothers.
Yeah, my daddy and his brothers. Miguel on the left, Miguel Paul, and then my Miguel Pete, my daddy, Miguel Chuy, and Miguel Pancho, Frank.
Yeah.
And I guess they're in line to where they're supposed to go. And this is my mama and my daddy. This is how I remember them.
Wow. And he is holding up the Military Order of Purple Heart. Oh, he actually, you could actually see the Russian medal there too.
Yeah. Yeah. He was so proud of his medals, but he really never talked about anything. I had heard stories from my mother, but he never, I think I remember asking him, because I had heard he was prisoner of war, and I asked him, well, Daddy, how did you get away? And he said that they had bombed, and that's how he was able to escape. But I didn't know that he was a prisoner twice until I read your book.
Yeah.
And it broke my heart. Boy, did he give me Daddy. And then I hear stories when he got back, you know, he still had his marks on his back. And it was just like, but to have known him, you wouldn't have thought, because he was always so happy. He was a joker. My daddy was a joker. He was always joking around, playing around, being just silly. And I used to love to visit him and just sit at the table and talk and just laugh at his stories.
And here's a photo of him, and who's that with him?
My grandmother, and my daddy loved her. He loved his mama.
So this is Ramon's mom, Consuelo.
That's how I remember him. This was one in his last days.
Right, this one here? Okay. So this was very kind of close to 1993? And well, when we had our first book signing event, you were there with me and your daughter Priscilla.
Yeah.
You guys flew down to El Paso. I was so thankful that you were able
Oh, we were happy
to see that that presentation and book sign. I mean, this is the first book signing event I had, and I was so happy that you two were able to make it down there.
I'm glad we did because we met a lot of nice people like Maggie. I still remember little Maggie. Remember
Yeah.
the little lady?
Yes.
Oh, they were so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we went. And this is another picture I have of my daddy in my home. We're so proud of those medals.
Again, thank you for sharing all of those photos and these intimate stories about Ramon and you growing up with him, you know, in his house. So I'm glad you were able to share that with us. Your thoughts, Roberta, on the book. You know, you helped me put together these stories about Ramon to be able to put in the book. Your thoughts on the book, and now Hollywood's got it. And
I know, I'm so excited. I'm so excited that, I want the guy that's gonna play my dad to be like a joker because my daddy was always joking around and playing around. Even my cousin Olga was talking to her the other day, and she said she remembers that her dad had a sense of humor too, but not like my dad. And he was just the nicest person you would have loved him if you would have met him.
Yeah, you know, I actually, the only time I was probably 5 years old at the time. My dad tells me that when Santana passed away, my Huelito Nayo, Santana's brother, had come over, and my dad was the one that took him to the house. And my dad says we walked up to the front porch, and Ramon was sitting right there on the porch in San Jose, at the house in San Jose, and that Ramon had told my dad, "Y este quién es?" and he's pointed at me, and he didn't realize that my dad was Nicho's son, and my grandfather Dionisio and Ramon were first cousins, and they were very close.
Well, I know there was a cousin of his that he was close to, and even my daddy remember telling me that he was raised by his grandfather along with his cousin. Was there somebody by the name of Chago or Santiago or
Oh,
something?
yes, Chago.
Did they live and play with you? And he had
Yes.
3 sons?
Yes.
Because they came to my wedding.
Oh, okay.
And I remember my daddy being so happy just to have him there. And then they joked, and it's just like and I remember my daddy telling me that they were raised together by their grandfather.
Right.
So it was a story that I remember.
Yeah. So Chago and my grandfather are brothers.
Oh, okay.
They're both hijos de Leonardo Nayo.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure how my daddy was related to him.
Yeah, that's how, and yeah, I'm still connected with Chago's family. His son Isauro Jr. just recently passed away.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Isauro Jr. recently passed away.
Well, I knew them as young when we were young, and I remember they had 3 sons. That's what I remember that.
But they were at your wedding. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
My wedding, yeah, my daddy was so happy that he came.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Well,
and mi tío Leonardo was
my great grandfather.
Okay, and I remember because we stayed at his home too when I was married, and we went with my Uncle Pete and Josie. and we stayed there at their home, and they were so sweet.
My abuelita Rosa.
Yes,
Yeah.
she was so nice.
Yeah.
And your great grandfather was so handsome. Anyway, he was so handsome, viejito, pero bien, simpático.
Again, thank you, Roberta, for joining us and giving us a different insight on Ramon. And yeah, we hope that Hollywood gets to work here very quickly. We're supposed to have some announcements coming out pretty soon on the updates on the TV series and so forth. But yeah, we can't wait to get to work on that. And to be able to tell your daddy's story now on a totally different platform. We've already done it in book, and now we're going to do it in film. And we can't wait to introduce your daddy to the world on a different platform.
And but the way we knew him, and my children too, he was always funny and playing around and all. I can imagine being around all his buddies, because I remember being when his friends would come visit him. My daddy would always have beer in the refrigerator, and he had a little old refrigerator that he bought in '52, and they still had it in the garage. My daddy would always go buy beer and keep it there for his friends when they came to visit.
Oh wow!
He didn't drink. My daddy never drank at home.
Mm-hmm.
Never did, never. But if he had buddies over, yeah, he would have a beer with them.
Oh wow!
He always kept beer in the refrigerator for his friends.
For his friends when they came over.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's great. Again, thank you very much, and we hope you enjoyed our chat together. And hopefully, we'll be able to do a couple of more episodes like this and talk about more intimately about the veterans of Company E. Thank you.